I've just got to reset. I've got to reboot my brain. Wait
Sweet.
a second. I ate so much fried chicken at lunchtime,
Oh, that's a bad move.
and it was really so. It wasn't a bad move. It was amazing.
but like
well,
the after effects.
We over ordered wings, and the people at the table couldn't eat the wings, and I felt like I had to eat
step
the
up.
wing. Chickens had died for that meal.
Yeah. Was it a franchised outlet or was it?
It was Cockfighter. It was delicious. These delicious. It was spelt COQ, not COCK.
Wow.
Cock,
They
French.
need some serious lessons in spelling.
Cockfighter, but it was delicious, but it was really salty, and I've drunk about 3 litres of water since, and I still don't think I've come. I feel desiccated. You know that bit at the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when the guy drinks from the goblet and he just desiccates into a skeleton. I'm at that stage
That
right
could
now.
happen. Imagine if it did. We should film this podcast just in case that happened.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's like, why is there a skeleton with a beard and a baseball cap?
Oh, it's a fair question. I've been asking myself that for years.
Welcome back to Are You Creative? The podcast for creativity in Essex, where we are exploring all things creative. I'm here at City Sound with my co-host,
Sangeeta from New Generation Development Agency.
That was well pro. Jumped straight in. Little bit of eye contact. Sick. And Sangeeta is learning more about creativity. Aren't you feel more creative?
Do you know what? I really am getting there. I feel that I'm getting there. I'm liking to draw now.
What?
Oh, yeah. I'm
What have you been
actually
drawing?
drawing for therapy.
Nice. What are you drawing?
Just randoms.
What, random people?
Yeah, no, like when I'm in a meeting, I'm just sketching random things when I'm getting bored.
Sick. We'll show some of them on our Instagram
I will
soon.
do.
And we both went to City Sound Festival. No, hang on, not City Sound. That's
Sounds
where we
good.
are. Sounds good. We both went to Sounds Good Festival at the weekend, which was incredible. Well
Really
done to
was.
John and everyone at Hotbox.
Really was.
You were running the stage in town, and Paul from City Sound was there doing rolling stage hire as well. It looks incredible with the lighting on, what's it called? Shire Hall?
It was absolutely amazing. 2 days, bringing 37 bands in to our city. It was the energy was really charged over the weekend.
I'll tell you what, I loved the Meths, Rad Pit, Maruja, Dharma Hounds. They were brilliant. And then I saw some bands at Radio City Social as well. Junes, they were good. Flame Bearer, fantastic. Apollo, this mad little young guitarist, he's 17 and absolutely shreds. It was a wicked day.
It was a really good one. I got to meet Satin Beige. who is-
Amazing.
Yeah.
Elodie's sister.
Absolutely brilliant.
And she plays cello.
She did, yes. Absolutely fantastic.
Incredible. And we've got a special guest in today. We've got a new guest who Sangeeta doesn't know who it is. And that is Adam.
I could be anyone.
Yeah, but you are Adam.
I am Adam. But aside from that, I could have other qualities which are currently hidden.
He could be anyone, but Sangeeta is going to try and work out what Adam might do. I think I'll just check one thing before you do that, Sangeeta. Adam, are you creative?
I am creative.
You heard it here first. Now, Sangeeta. Sangeeta.
I'm studying hard.
Well, I'm going to describe
I'm
him a bit here. We
studying
have got a guy here with tattooed arms. He's got a baseball cap on. He's got a T-shirt that says CTM, which I imagine stands for something, and Vans checkerboard slip-ons, which is, I think, for me, a social signifier. I would know exactly what Adam does by those shoes.
Me too. Actually, I know at the moment.
And
Okay.
Adam's also got a double lip ring, nose ring. Basically, he's looking super cool. So, Sangeeta, what does Adam do?
I'm going to go for something to do with a stage, whether it's singing, music, production, something in that creative field.
Is that because in Soundcheck, Adam was ad-libbing some fantastic songs?
He looks like a rock star.
He's got rock star energy, hasn't
He
he?
really has.
That is a completely fair comment.
Yeah.
So
I
tell us.
think Adam, where on the stage do you think Adam would be in a band?
Oh, that's a good question.
Drummer. I'm not sure. Drummer, maybe.
Yeah.
He could even be the singer. I don't know. But so are you in a band? Because I'm now injured.
So what am I allowed to divulge?
You can say everything now.
I can say,
This is-
well,
you can tell
the
me
veil
who
is
you
lifted.
are.
The veil is lifted.
Adam, hang on. Now, right, Adam's been in a cardboard box this whole time. I'm going to
And in the cardboard box, I had no clothes on. but
burst
no
your
one
way out of the cardboard box and let Sangeeta know who you are.
knew. Okay. That's the sound of a cardboard box. I am Adam. I am Music Boy.
He is a music boy.
I am Music Boy. I do lots of music stuff.
Are you really?
True story. True story.
And why I asked you a trick question, because sometimes Adam plays drums, sometimes Adam plays guitar, sometimes he plays bass, sometimes he sings. Adam does lots of stuff.
I like to be everywhere.
Yeah. Adam's a person who is in a lot of bands, aren't you? How many bands are you in?
Currently 4 bands.
4 bands. Come on, listen.
4 different bands.
Yeah, I mean 3 of them are tribute bands. So, I am sort of inadvertently the king of pop punk tributes. I play in a Blink-182 tribute band.
Called?
That's Blink-182.
Blink-182.
It's got an ED on it. No one will know. We actually recently got flagged on Facebook. You know where they do the whole thing where they take your page away and they're like, you've been very naughty.
Oh.
And they didn't quite get the concept of the tribute band things. They were like, yeah, you're impersonating somebody else. And you're like, yes,
that's a tribute band.
Definitely are.
I got to say, the most fun thing about setting up a tribute band for me would be just making the name. Then I'd be bored. So I'd be like, Wink 182, Winky 182, Winky 183, Blink 187. I don't know.
To be fair, Winky 182 is my OnlyFans.
And that's based on your length as well as... no.
No length. It's like a dinner plate.
So we've got Blink 182.
We do. So then I'm in a Green Day tribute band, which is called Dookie, after the album by Green Day.
And
Dookie.
also the American children's name for poo-poo.
Exactly. And
do you know
conveniently...
Dookie? Dookie?
No, but I will go home and Google.
Do you know Basket Case, Sangeeta?
No, I don't.
We're not going to sing songs on here because we'll get the thing. But if I sing it, it probably won't get it done. Do you have the time? No.
Yeah, to be fair, like you don't Google image search Dookie when you go home.
Okay.
That would be a bad move.
But that band's called
really?
Dookie.
Our band's
That's a good
called
one,
Dookie.
yeah.
That's a good one.
Because we were talking about, would it be Green Night or Brown Day or whatever? It's like Dookie's the best name for it.
But Brown Day was my other OnlyFans page, which was deleted.
Oh, Adam.
Indeed.
He's got a lot of OnlyFans. I don't know how he manages it all.
It's a tough balance.
Okay, and the third one is Avril Lavigne?
Half Real Lavigne.
Half Real Lavigne.
Really? Oh.
I'm going to take no credit for that name, though, because one of my friends named that. Because she is actually like a queen of naming tribute bands.
Oh, wow.
So we just set the band up and we were like, okay, just put her over there and get her to think about the name. And then she came back with it and we were like, yep, obviously.
Half Real Lavigne is absolutely brilliant.
I love that, absolutely. And that is creative.
Do all 3 cover bands play on the same bill ever?
We've never done all 3 at the same time, but a lot of the time it is 2 at the same time.
Oh,
That's amazing. Yeah, because you share it, swap, put your hat a different way around. Like now I'm Blink 182, I'm Travis, I've got it backwards.
I mean, watching people try and figure it out is brilliant, because in the Blink tribute, I'm Tom, so I play guitar and sing. And then in the Green Day tribute, I'm the drummer. And in the Avril tribute, I'm a guitarist again. So it's really funny, like when Blink go first, and obviously I'm at the front of the stage, and then I like completely change my appearance for Green Day, and then you sort of see people with their eyebrow raised, like, same guy.
It's really confusing.
Different instrument. So then let's go back to this then. So what came first? Was it your drums or the guitar? What was the love?
It was guitar.
Okay.
The guitar came first. I started playing guitar when I was 8.
Okay.
And then drums was shortly after when I was 10.
What got you into starting the guitar at 8? That's really young.
So my dad is like one of those people who has always desperately wanted to play guitar, but he never really has. So there was always guitars in the house, and then he would kind of put them my way and be like, do music.
So you know that one of those parent things that I couldn't do it, so I want that dream to live
It was
through.
kind of like that.
So you're basically saying your dad was too lazy to learn, but he bought a kit and he would just like glue it to your hand and say, "Come on, mate,
exactly.
minstrel,
live my
entertain me."
dream."
Exactly. The only thing I ever regret is he wasn't quite hard enough with me. Like he could have maybe practiced more.
But now he must be so chuffed when he sees you going around and sees you like. I mean, right, Sangeeta, I've got to say, right, I knew Adam already a bit from something else that he does. And I was playing at a festival last year, Teddy Rocks, and I looked at the main stage and I was like, is that Adam on the drums? And there's fire, there's pyro as well. There's pyrotechnics going off and fire. And I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. It's crazy. Adam from Chelmsford as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I was a bit in awe. I'm not worthy, at that time, especially because of the pyrotechnics. I've never had pyrotechnics.
Oh, wow.
Fire is cool.
Yeah,
fire is
cool.
cool.
Especially when you're playing the drums and, all drummers play in slow motion with the fire going in slow motion. So,
Amazing.
did your dad come and see you? And he must just be like, "Yeah, you are living my dream."
Yeah, to be fair, my parents literally never come to any of my shows anymore. They got bored of that.
Is it because you didn't do a Dire Straits or Cream cover band that your dad actually wanted?
It would have been Thin Lizzy. Would have been the one
nice.
that Dad would have always chosen.
That is not bad to be honest. And Thin Lizzy, you know,
Yeah.
you could do like you could double header with like a Darkness cover band or something as well.
Absolutely, yeah. He was always a big Gary Moore guy, so
Yeah.
that was kind of like one of his biggest like Then obviously he became one of my biggest Gary Moore, like, amazing guitarist.
So
Incredible.
did you go on to study this, I guess, throughout your teenage? How did you get to?
Yeah, basically, like pretty much since I was 10, I was like gonna do music.
Right. Brilliant.
So then, like, I did like my back then it was called like Guildhall did the
Right.
grades, but now that's Trinity.
Yep,
that
Trinity,
sort of exam.
yeah.
It sort of
Heard of
morphed
them.
into that.
Explain this. Like, it sounds like something you have to go to London for. What is
No,
Guildhall?
so basically it's because the Guildhall is an educational establishment in London, but basically it's just like instrumental grades, but they're way more orchestral. Like they've made it really cool in modern times, but when I did it, that was the only choice. You did Guildhall grades or you did not do grades. So there was like, I remember at grade 1 there was like a rain dance and things like that, and yeah, it was pretty mad. So
Hang on, because I get confused. Right, I'm totally self-taught musician.
Yeah.
And I've never had a lesson ever, and I don't understand grades or anything. Is number 1 the best?
no, so number 1 is
It's
like
the lowest
the
start.
entry
Yeah.
level. So you go from 1 to 8.
So hang on, what's a rain dance like on guitar?
So effectively, the rain dance was a rhythm played on the snare and the floor tom of a drum kit, and it was just basically, I think it was like an 8-bar rhythm or something like that.
Go on, how's it go? Just go,
so
just
it
just a
would be-
ragged bagada or something.
Okay, no, I'll clap it out for you. I'm a professional. So it would be.
That actually sounds
Perfect.
that actually sounds pretty complicated. That's grade 1.
Yeah, that's
All right, I don't think I get my
grade
grade 1. And does that work? Can you actually make it rain with that?
Make it rain.
No. And do you ever use that in any gigs?
Literally never.
Is it your fault? Like you've been playing at Download every year after year, and they're
Every
like,
single
"Why does
year,
it keep raining at Download?"
Every year, this guy.
It's that intro to that song. So that's amazing. How old were you when you started doing these? Guildhall.
So basically, as soon as I started playing the instruments, so
8?
Yeah, eight for the guitar, and then it was 10 for drums.
And how quickly did you progress?
So guitar, I actually bailed on my grades quite early. So I got up to grade 4 on guitar and then didn't really pursue it anymore. But that's because drums, I sort of blitzed the grades for that. So I started at 10, then I got my grade 8 when I was 13.
Oh wow.
So I pushed those grades.
Hang on, you have to remind me now. What is the top grade?
Grade 8.
Grade 8.
Great. So basically, you were like the elite drummer at 13.
13. I mean, but don't get me wrong. Like grades are really cool, but grades maketh not the drummer.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because
Right.
you can sort of always tell the people who've done the grades and they never really had the experience. And obviously, I was that person. Who said if someone was like, "Oh yeah, so play me like a 5/4 shuffle," and I'd bang out a 5/4 shuffle with like loads of ghosts and stuff, and it'd be really cool. And they'd be like, "Okay, jam to this song," and I'd be like, "So you want a 5/4 shuffle with like loads of ghosts and stuff?"
Yeah.
Right?
I know what you mean. So, did your parents kind of give up on your academics then, and they were just like, "Hey, look, this guy's the music guy. We just let him go with it."
To be fair, they were always like really like they just let me do what I want, which was really cool. To be fair, like I've got an academic interest because like so I went to college for the music side of things. Went to like a pure music college. I don't know. You might remember it. It's called Access to Music at the time.
No.
So it was examined by like Rock School. RSL were the ones that sort of did it, and at the end of it, you got basically like a B.Tech sort of thing in music. And then I went on to uni from there. But then a little bit after that, I went back and did a postgrad to do my PGCE for teaching. And yeah, I actually really love academia as well as like the performance side of things.
I mean, to be a drummer, you've got to be so good at maths.
It helps.
Yeah. Anyway, because
Does it really?
yeah, look,
Oh yeah.
you've right. You know, like everything you're used to, Sangeeta, whatever you think is like 4/4, right, or probably 3/3, which is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you get really good at drums and stuff, songs start getting far more complicated, and you got to do little bits of maths in your head
Wow.
while you're playing.
Yeah, all rhythm is like a little equation. So I actually started teaching music when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
So my drum tutor at the time was moving to Norfolk, and he basically said, "Hey, do you want a couple of these students?" I'd never really thought about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go."
Amazing.
So that's when I started like doing the 1-2 tuition.
Okay.
Where were you doing that? Sorry, you said you were 16?
Yeah.
Were you doing it from your house?
Yeah. So that was like my parents had like a granny annex on the house, which is what had become like my music room. And then so I started teaching from there, basically.
Amazing. I mean, you know, there's nothing really more annoying than hearing a beginner play. I mean, it's great. I love people starting music, but it's hard to ignore when, especially not when you can play music, right? So your neighbour's like, oh my God, he's got another one. Or are they all right?
My neighbours deserved it.
I love that.
I mean, that's brilliant. It's so entrepreneurial being 16 and actually having that skill to share and to teach people.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool. It was really overwhelming at the time. It didn't really ever hit me. Because I remember one of my students, he started when he was 44. So like as a 16-year-old, I would like have that 44-year-old, like a fully fledged man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would come, and then I would be the authority, and it was super weird.
And we were just like, just play it, you noob. Why can't you play the trumpet, you noob?
He's like, you've seen Whiplash, right? Yeah. Shake my head.
Made him cry.
God. So then what happens after that? So you do all of this at 16, you go off to uni, and then how did you get to do this? Are you doing this as a full-time career now?
So like performance, I'd never say that performance is my full-time career.
Right.
Like I do a lot of tribute stuff, and it's really good fun. But I'm not going to lie, I view my performance side of life as more like fun than I do a career.
Okay.
Like we earn good money from it and stuff, but I don't like, I create that separation in my head because I think there's always that risk that it would start to become not fun.
Right.
Because I know people in other tribute bands who do it like every weekend, and you talk to those people and they are blatantly dead inside.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd never want to become like that.
It's a lot of effort, isn't it? You know, driving around, set up, gig. You never know if every gig's going to be a banger anyway.
Totally, yeah.
And it isn't really, when you work out how much money you get compared to how many hours it takes, it doesn't work out that great.
So it's got to be the passion, right?
Yeah, exactly that. And like the reason I'm in those tribute bands is because those are the bands that I love more than anyone else. Those are the ones that I sort of grew up with. So yeah, that's why those bands. And I'd never want that to become like a situation where it was just, I don't really like what I'm doing. I'm just doing this out of habit, or just like a robot or something like that.
I mean, but being a tribute band, you have to be a little bit like a robot because you can't go off piece too much because people want to hear the songs as they are done.
Yeah, I mean, it's fortunate that again, like those particular musicians are the ones that I grew up originally trying to emulate, and then sort of moved away from them because I was like, no, I'm a real musician now. And
I've got my own style.
I emulate Thomas Lang. I don't emulate Travis Barker anymore, or like Trey Cool. But then you come back to it and you're like, this is so much fun.
Yes.
And like I said, I sort of grew up idolizing these people and like watching them and then trying to almost copy their movements when I was young. So then you can kind of come back to that and it's still there a bit.
I think when you get a bit older as a musician and you get a bit over your ego, right?
Yeah.
And you realize that actually I can play my own song and 20 people will indifferently clap, or I can play Basket Case and 500 people are going to cheer and jump around.
Yeah.
Which feeling was the one that you really wanted to get when you you started?
Exactly. And it's a mad feeling. Like people are mad for the tribute scene. Like after we play, people will want pictures and they'll ask for set lists, and they pretty much convince themselves that you are the real thing. And it's really weird.
What's really interesting now actually is so many festivals now are turning over to just being like pure tribute festivals. So
Absolutely.
Teddy Rocks, which actually I love, I've got to big up the organisers. It's brilliant. It's for children's cancer.
Oh,
and the main stage, where else can you go and see like Queen, the Arctic Monkeys, Green Day, Blink 182, Madness, all on the same, and AC/DC, all on the same bill on the same day.
Amazing.
And the quality of the bands. I mean, I've seen Oasis before. No Oasis are so much better than Oasis live.
Yeah, I mean, Oasis, they've never been that good live, have they? Like,
no.
Really?
They're really good at writing songs, but they're not good at performing them. Yeah. No Oasis go and play it like the best.
Yeah.
And, so I think people haven't got so much money now and they want to go out to like this really, they want to see this lineup and these people really giving it everything. Because a tribute, you can't dial it in.
No.
No.
You won't get booked again.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because the next one, Blanc 183 will come along and take your spot.
So has your career now, the doing the tribute bands, has that taken you across the country? Like how?
Yeah. So we've like done a lot of stuff up and down the UK. Like we've done some stuff abroad as well. Like we went to Norway.
Wow.
And then slightly closer to home, like we did a thing like in the Isle of Man.
Okay.
And we've done like obviously the UK, like Dublin. We did in Ireland, and we go to Scotland quite regularly now.
I'm going to ask a really silly question. I think I might know the answer. So when you're going to, say, somewhere like Norway,
Yeah.
you're taking your own drums with you?
Not to the Norway one, no. So we generally get like gear hire out there.
Right.
But what is funny is when you do those gigs, is you go on a plane,
Uh-huh.
and it's so much cheaper to pay for a seat for your equipment than it is to pay for it to be put in the hold.
No.
What, you make a drum man? You're like, oh, that's all right, don't worry, it's Mr. Drummy here.
So
Here's his passport.
So fortunately, the big
wow.
stuff we get like backline hire of wherever we go.
Right.
But what you have as like a drummer is you have your snare, cymbals, and like a kick pedal. So effectively, you book a seat, and your cymbals are in the seat, and your cymbals carry on is the snare drum.
Yeah.
And then the pedal sort of goes in the snare drum case, or you book a seat for your guitar.
Hang on, and I can see something amazing about this hack. You get 2 meals, right? Because Mr. Zildjian, he doesn't want to. He's not feeling very
He
hungry.
eats far more than I do.
That's
But
a
yeah.
really good point. Wow.
So what's your favourite place to play? Like, what's your favourite festival or gig? Or
So I'm not gonna lie. The best gigs I've ever played have been in clubs in the north of the country.
which ones? Name some.
What's the one? So you've got Night Train in Huddersfield, which is really, really good.
What an awesome name, Night Train.
Night Train.
I can just see the logo now.
Absolutely.
So that's probably one of the ones I pick out. A lot of them blur into one. I'm not going to lie. I'm very bad with knowing where I'm about to play.
What, you just hop in the van and that's it, just wake me up when we're north of the border.
Honestly, I am the person who, like, the night before will be like, yeah, I swear that was like Newcastle we're going, right? And then I'll look at the list and it's like Manchester. And I'll be like, that's pretty close actually. That's not bad. And
You'll just go north and find out where.
Yeah, then
ask a local.
yeah, and then I'm just sort of like, yeah, like in my head beforehand, I'm like, yeah, it'll probably take me like 5 hours or something. It'll be fine. And I'll like look and it will say 8 hours, and I'm like, yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, we played Kendall Calling this summer, and that was a shock. We were like, oh yeah, that's probably going to take a few hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was like 8 hours drive or 9 hours drive. I was like, and then when you've got to add your Greg's stops in, which was really important when you're doing gigs.
Yeah,
You've got to get Greg's.
yeah. What do you get from Greg's?
Go to in the morning, of course, because you've got to leave early. You know, you've got to get the breakfast deal. Got to get a bacon sandwich and a tea.
Okay,
Probably a sausage roll later on, and steak bake on the way back.
nice. No time for the cheese and bean.
No
No
cheese and bean. No, we're strictly carnivore in our
Creative
band.
differences there then.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
okay.
What about you? Where's your pit stops when you're going? What's your favourite stop off?
It's always going to be a Macca's.
Ah,
Let's be
love
honest.
it.
It's always going to be a Macca's because there always is one.
Yeah.
And that way you're never disappointed because you always
That's
get
so
what you
true.
want.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like when you go to a service, when you're driving around, I'm not like I do it loads, but when you're driving around, you recognise the service stations more than you recognise anywhere else.
Yeah. And have you ever done the thing where you drive to the gig and then you go to a service station? On the way back, you're like, yeah, I'm going to stop in a second. And the next service station is the same one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's one. It's like a magic. It's like a unicorn appears because like it's got waterfalls on the outside of it, and it's just so calm and lovely. And you're like, I've got to remember this service station. It's like Greg's would be in heaven. And yeah, you're just lucky sometimes wherever you stop.
Yeah.
It's just basically when someone needs a wee, and it will be the drummer. I mean, probably not the drummer in your band, but the drummer in our band's always drunk about 8 cans of beer, and because you know, like that's what drummers do. Drummers are wild ones, aren't they? And then he'll always need a lot of wheeze on the way back.
That's what makes them wild, the constant wheeze.
Exactly. Yeah, look, urine retention. Richard Osman's brother's in Suede,
Yes, yeah.
and he said that he asked his brother if he'd ever needed a wee while he was on stage, and his brother said in all the time he'd ever done gigs, he'd never ever needed a wee on stage. Have you ever needed a wee on stage?
Yes. Like,
Really?
literally,
Really?
probably every single one.
I've never needed a wee on stage because sort of go into hyper focus and it shuts down all your body functions apart from pure entertainment.
That's true. So I've got to admit, what tends to happen, because like before a show, whichever one it is, like guitar and vocal or drums, I will start drinking water about 3 hours beforehand.
Yes.
And I'll be pretty intense with the water drinking. So then usually in the half-hour lead up, you've got like 3 wheeze in that half hour.
Yep.
That's 3 wee central. And then just as you go on, you're like walking out, you're like, I need another wee. It's gonna happen. And then like the first song, you kind of need a wee.
Yeah.
But then it disappears. But then if you go off for the encore, you're like, oh my God, I need a wee. This is bad.
And what's your snack strategy before you go on stage as well?
Oh, bagel.
Bagel.
Yeah.
I smash a bag with Star Mix.
So you're going for the sugar.
I do. Yeah. I want that sugar burst. Like, got to time it exactly right. So it's full hype when I'm ready on stage, and then let the adrenaline carry me through.
See, I'm peanut butter bagel. So I go for the slow release energy.
You're like, I'm gonna ramp this gig up. The energy's gonna ramp up as we go.
So that's what happens, right?
But what do you? This is going to be once again a silly question. So you're on a stage, you're midway, you want to go for a wee. As a drummer, what do you do? You can't. You don't. You just hold it.
Exactly. Yeah. That is literally your only choice in that situation.
And then how comes you do the 3 hours of water before a gig?
Oh,
when others are doing beers.
Just because, like, hydration is key. Like, whatever you're doing, obviously, lack of hydration equals cramps wherever sort of muscles you're using. So, guitar, obviously, cramps in fingers, cramps in particularly like your thumb in that little crevice that meets the first finger.
Sure.
That's horrible. And the same as a drummer, because obviously your hands, you're constantly using your hands, but then like your forearm can go as well, and then your leg can go, and it's I've had it before, and like so you have to play through it, and it's like intensely painful.
I've had it. Yeah, I've had it before. Where I couldn't do my kick drum anymore, and it was. I think I had really bad monitor sound, so I couldn't hear my kick drum.
So you were going
I was really going for it, and I remember getting like the last 2 songs, I literally couldn't play the kick drum, and I was like, so frustrating, and I felt like a noob.
Yeah.
But also for vocals as well, it's so important to stay hydrated. You know, like we were just talking about now about like, you know, your voice changing. If you get dehydrated, your voice gets really shredded as well.
Yeah,
I get the vocal bit, but I mean, I was trying to figure out, like, as a drummer, why would you need? But that just so made sense.
But look how plump his cheeks are as well. It's important, you know.
Lovely cheeks.
There's going to be people there like taking photos. You got to make sure your face, your skin's plump and you're looking nice.
Fully agreed.
Yeah.
Fully agreed.
Just the first 3 songs, and then you can be dehydrated after that.
So when was the last gig? When was the last time you played?
Where
was it?
We actually took a break for August, and we're starting again next week because like loads of us have families and stuff.
Sure.
Proper rock star stuff. So last one we did would it be Derbyshire Sausage and Cider Festival, maybe?
Okay, I've heard of that.
Oh, the circuit. Good. There's a lot of sausage and cider festivals.
Yeah.
There are.
But I think Derbyshire's mad, right? Derbyshire has so many festivals happen there because I think someone's worked out that it's exactly the middle point of the country. Right? Because they have Bloodstock, they have Download, they have Bearded Theory Festival. Yeah, I think Why Not's near there. Sausage and Cider Festival. It's all happening. It's mad. Derby. That's the place. If you like, and they've got a venue called the Hairy Dog. Hairy
Dog is awesome.
Yeah, and I think like if you like music, move to Derby because that's where everyone is.
And the cost of living super low.
Oh wow! Okay, so we're selling Derby here, everybody.
Yeah, and probably a good service station near there as well.
Driving in,
and also piggyback studios like we always go and practice in before we play any of the festivals because we don't practice. Our band, we only practice just before we go on stage.
Is it the same for you, or do you have more practice, or how does it work? Do you before a gig?
No, we sort of don't anymore.
Okay,
really. Like with the tribute stuff, like sometimes if a band releases a new album,
sure,
like not Green Day because all their new albums are terrible, but like
we'll delete that bit.
Blink have just like released a new album, so we had to go into the studio and rehearse some new material from that. But then once that's banked, we just sort of trust ourselves. Really, we don't really rehearse from that point.
You know, everyone's going to do the time at home and rehearse at home on their own.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So you do your own like solo rehearsal. I mean, in the Green Day band, our front man lives in Grimsby.
Oh wow!
So we just literally converge for gigs and then part.
This is the band life, right? It's really funny because every band I know because I'm friends with 101 Pantera and lots of other bands and our band as well. Everyone's from all around the country. we only come together at a gig as well.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. It's like forming like Voltron.
Yeah.
The band is together, full power.
So how does that happen? You just meet random people through your life and then go, come on, let's set up a band.
So the funny thing is, like with Dookie, so the main bulk of us are in sort of like Essex based, like Essex/London, so pretty close to each other. But then our frontman, the reason he is in the band is because our original frontman stole a bunch of money from us.
Oh no!
Then spent it on drugs. So that was classic, like the most rock and roll thing that you could do. So then,
what did you do about that?
What did we do about it? I mean,
how, did you hunt him down?
I mean, the man has many issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
is he not in any other bands anymore?
No.
But he could be like, what's a band with like a real like scumbag? He could do like a scumbag. He could do like Happy Mondays or something like that. He'd be like a good Shaun Ryder, right?
He's a big guy as well.
Yeah, Shaun Ryder. Yeah, perfect. All right, shall we stop talking about it? All right.
Yeah, let's not.
So yeah, funny enough, Teddy Rocks. You mentioned Teddy Rocks.
Yeah.
So we had Teddy Rocks in the diary, and this happened about 2 weeks before we were playing at Teddy Rocks.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, we do not want to let Tom down because Tom is one of the most solid guys ever. He's so cool. And we just wanted to find any way to play it. So we got like another guy from around this area to come in for a rehearsal. And it's like, nope, he's just not cutting it. We sort of would be embarrassed to go with him. So we ended up just saying, we put our cards on the table to Tom and said, we want to come and play still. We do not want to let you down.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you know who could do it? And then we sort of fielded the idea of Green Day karaoke. So we have like a bunch of people going up on stage. And then we were doing that. That was set. And then about 3 days before, he was like, "So this guy I know called Andy, he said that he reckons he could do the whole set." And we were like, okay. So then, as I said, Tom, most solid guy in the world, he said, well, what you can do, if you come down for 8 a.m., you can rehearse on the main stage for half an hour before we open the site.
With pyro.
No, you're right. He's stingy. No pyro.
Exactly. Why didn't he get a pyro out?
Damn it, Tom. And yeah, so he said we could rehearse for like half an hour. Bear in mind the set was an hour long, but it was like you can rehearse for half an hour with the guy and see what it's like. So we did, and it was amazing. And now he is our frontman.
Sangeeta, I've got to tell you, there's more to Adam than just playing music. Because Adam actually owns Card Trick Music as well, which is, you might see on his T-shirt, which you won't be able to see because it's audio only podcast, but it says CTM.
It does.
And it's got a little Ace for Spades. And that is Card Trick Music, which is in Chelmsford. It's a rehearsal studio and recording studio. And they do music lessons as well. So Adam has got like a whole empire from this 8-year-old that picked up a guitar. Is now, look at him. I know he looks so irresponsible.
Now I'm a 9-year-old.
Now he's a 9-year-old. Tell us all about Card Trick because I think it's amazing.
Because I've got young people and we're always looking for studios. I've never heard of your studio.
Cool. Yeah, so we've been in Chelmsford now for 13 years. I think this is our 14th year.
Wow.
To be fair. So the day I handed in my dissertation at uni was the day that I signed the lease on the first premises that we had.
My God.
So yeah, it was a big day.
Where was your first premises?
So that was just just outside of Writtle on the Margaretting Road on like a little site over there.
Was that it's like a farm, was it?
Yeah. So it was kind of like a farm which had been converted into all different units for different people.
So the drum lessons didn't bother the cows or the sheep or anything.
They were okay with it.
They were ready to die.
they were just stick a bolt in me now. I cannot hear any more noob drummers.
I signed the lease on that day, and then we just had like one building. So we started off with 3 rehearsal rooms and like a really little recording sort of suite that we had in there. And then when the people moved out the unit next door, we took on that one. Then when the people moved out the unit next door, we took on that one.
Whoa!
And now since December this year, now we've moved into like a 9,500 square foot premises.
Wow!
Now, Sangeeta, this new place. I mean, the old place was funny because the ceiling was just about to fall down, but
and it never did.
I'm 6'3" and I couldn't actually walk in that room anymore. The ceiling was it never fell down, but it was very dangerous. And the new place is absolutely sick. It's massive, really good. I love doing drum practice there and guitar lessons and stuff.
Where is it?
Rehearsals.
What bit in Chelmsford?
So literally just up the road from where we were before. So now we're just opposite the entrance to Highlands Park car park.
Amazing.
So again, just on the edge of Writtle.
It's called Shackstone Farm.
Yeah, Shackstone Farm.
And what the cool thing about it is, there's a room there, right? You can rehearse with your band, and it's got flashing lights and the stage, and
wow.
you know, basically you can do like a full gig rehearsal.
Yeah,
which is really, really fun.
Amazing. Do you get other bands coming in then?
Yeah, so we've got
space.
Yeah, we've got 6 rehearsal rooms. So we've got like bands in there, like 6 bands pretty much every night rehearsing. And then we've got the recording suite as well. And we're in the process of building like a whole videography area.
Wow.
So we've like the infinity walls up now, and then we're having like a full wraparound green screen and stuff.
Hell yeah. You're going to get some punk rock factory sort of stuff going on in there.
I mean, we could. The idea is this is going to be like, because it's the huge space out the back, as you probably remember from being there before, which it's a massive space. Like I said, green screen capable, full blackout, like infinity wall and everything. So it's going to be very cool.
And you can do live streams from there, or
so we've got no plans for live streams at the moment. Like we did that a while ago, like during COVID, we like did all the live stream stuff. But
no one wants to watch those, do they? That's the problem. You do it, and about 5 people are like, meh.
I feel like it's an insane amount of work for very little payoff. Yeah. Like
agreed.
It's so much work, and then the internet is your mistress.
Yes.
Like if the internet doesn't feel it, then your live stream does not happen. Yeah. So
it's so depressing as a musician playing and seeing people dropping off as well off the feed.
Yeah.
And seeing people join and then drop off, drop off, comments and then drop off, and it's like, I don't want that sort of level of feedback.
Yeah.
I just want to see people at a gig.
Yeah, well, there's no energy, is there? That's the thing. You're not getting that feeling of being in a room with another person.
Yeah.
So we do all of that stuff basically.
And what are you going to do now? Music videos?
So yeah, we're gonna run music videos, so we can do loads of different stuff, like your traditional style. We're in a white room and we're all looking very good with our instrument stuff, and then we can go a little bit deeper with the green screen capability, because it's not just going to be like a green screen on a stand. We're going full wraparound green screen, chroma key flooring.
Wow.
So you can effectively transform yourself into a different place.
So chroma key, what we're talking about chroma key here is like green screen or blue screen, you know, where you can take the background out. You can be like, oh, hey, look, we're doing a gig on the moon.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
But it's like automatic. They call it keying. It's
okay.
That's a lot of fun.
Music language.
Not me. That's video language.
Video language.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Sounds amazing. Absolute. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and there's got some great teachers down there as well. Look at me. You should be paying me for this. I'm doing advert for Card Trick, but my kid was going there and learning guitar, and he has really amazing guitar teacher Nicole, who's unfortunately moved to Canada now, but she is brilliant. I know some young kids that are learning drums there. Miles, who's learning drums, he's absolutely amazing. Who's his drum teacher called?
George.
George is brilliant. Yeah, so they've got loads of people down there.
Fantastic.
We want to see like the next wave of young Chelmsford bands coming through, because I think we've had a bit of a fallow period for like when I was growing up, that everyone was in a band. There used to be loads of bands playing the Army and Navy, the Y Club, all of these other places, and I think there's been a little bit of a lull.
Yeah.
And now look at us. We've got Hotbox, we've got the theatre, we've got Radio City Social. There are these places, the Fleece. We've got all these places for bands to play.
Things are heating up.
We need bands to fill those stages.
Absolutely.
and not just Dookie.
Yeah.
And things. We need some original stuff as well.
Real bands.
Yeah. Exactly. Not men dressed as dogs. Not Dookie. Real bands.
They could all be included, but some old school bands. No, I absolutely agree, because one thing I think the Sounds Good Festival last week taught me, speaking to Joe Public, is that actually people want to see live bands.
They do.
Whether they're tribute bands or whether they're people that have made their own music, own lyrics. It's just absolutely amazing to watch somebody live than to have just the DJ put on a song.
Exactly. And I think there was a period where it was kind of like assumed that people didn't want to see live music.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of happened because a lot of things were happening very half-heartedly, like with events. But like you said, now you've got people like Hotbox who are just pouring everything into what they do and just going with that attitude of, well, we're going to make it as good as it possibly can be, and then we're going to sort of think about it later. And I think that's what music needs, because you need to just commit to it 100%.
There's that rebel spirit, or that pioneer thing. It's quite punk, isn't it?
Exactly.
We're just going to do it. And I mean, Hotbox just keep ploughing on there.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's what I mean. It just,
And you're like, we'll fix it later.
Yeah.
We'll work it out later.
Yeah, and like I think that's actually raising people's interest and giving some momentum to the local scene as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, so now young people get in their studio, write some songs. Don't even need
go
to be
play
like
them at Hotbox.
I was so terrible when I was 15 in my first band.
Oh yeah, you got to be.
It's shocking, but also your friends don't know. Your friends are 15. They haven't been to like a good gig either, so they're just happy to see their mate play as well. Don't be a YouTube musician. Don't be a YouTuber musician. Be a real musician.
Putting out your little Instagram reels
Exactly.
every 3 days.
Getting it. So, hang on, just give a little break.
But to clarify, come and record those reels at Card Trip Music.
Yes, I was going to say.
Can you do that? So if someone wants to come and shred like Dragon Force, Through Fire and Flames, Master Mode, they want to do it for the YouTube reels, they can just come in and record with you.
Absolutely.
And you'll put flames in the background.
We will provide the flames to your fire.
Yeah, not real ones, of course. So if there's anyone there who wants to get into music, so, you talk to a 44-year-old. Yep. I know you've got like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds coming to learn drums. What's the best way to start learning an instrument?
The best way to start learning an instrument is to get that instrument and then just start doing things with it. Like for the first 2 weeks, just get it and kind of poke it around a bit. Because
get to know your instrument.
Exactly. It's very important. So just poke it around a little bit, actually get used to what it is, because otherwise when you come to that first structured learning experience, whatever it is, whether you like look up a tab or a YouTube video or you go to an actual tutor, the thing is just going to feel so alien and uncomfortable. You're going to be battling that as much as anything else.
So imagine I'm a 47-year-old man. Yeah.
Okay. I'll wait.
Just imagine.
Okay, I've got it.
Picture it. And I'm like, okay, I want to learn guitar now. What would I do? How would I know what guitar to get and how to start doing it?
So ultimately, I would say whatever you do not type in best first guitar to get.
Really? What's it going to be? I want a Hello Kitty one.
Because unfortunately, the internet is full of so much information, you will become overwhelmed. And then you'll probably decide, you know what, I'm not going to learn guitar. Like, forget it.
That's a very good point, Adam.
I'm just going to do something different.
But do you think, how much money should someone be spending like to find out if they like doing it and to come for their first lesson?
So what you got to do is you've got to do the dreaded thing. Is you got to pick up a phone and you've got to call a music shop.
No.
I was going to say, is it about actually speaking to maybe the specialist if you're looking to go back into it?
Absolutely.
And just getting some advice from the specialist?
Yeah, but it's like, you know what they do? You're like, I want to get something. Like, oh man, why do you want to get P551 381? Because like that's not good. I mean, you want to get a 12.5 string, mate. If you're going to learn, no, that one's well too heavy. Yeah, get the SZ5P3. Yeah. Oh yeah, an extra 200 quid. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you don't want that one. That one's got a strap on it. and it's just confusing. It's impenetrable, isn't it?
I think the thing is now is like back in the day, like there were a lot of music shops around, so you'd get a lot more like sort of upselling and stuff like that. But the music shops that currently still exist, because it's so unfortunate that so many of them have closed, but the ones that do exist because they are full of genuine professionals who love music. It's not just sort of like a retail opportunity, because music as a retail opportunity is a terrible one.
Sure.
Yes.
Like if you're going to open a shop, just don't open a music shop.
I've got to say, R.I.P. Sound Attack.
Oh,
those guys were. This is a drum shop in Brent. They one in Brentwood and Colchester.
Yes, and Hornchurch.
Oh, no, sorry, Hornchurch and Colchester.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Like every drummer I know has been through Sound Attack, bought all their kit. And it had to shut down, unfortunately. I used to love going there and chatting about kit.
That's what I mean. Absolute legends. And so call up somebody and actually ask them. Like for guitars, for me, it would be Peach Guitars in Colchester. Like
Peach Guitars.
Yeah.
Yep.
They are.
Do they do any other colours? Is that a good place to get my Hello Kitty guitar?
That joke has upset me as a guest. I just want it to be known.
But yeah, so I can get my Hello Kitty one there and the ukulele.
If you get a Hello Kitty guitar, I also want it, because I've been looking for a Hello Kitty guitar, because those used to be so easy to come by, and you can't get them now.
What would our Hello Kitty cover band be called?
Oh, see.
Kitty Sound. Like City Sound or something. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything better.
I'm going to go with that. Your answer was really quick, and it meant there wasn't like a silence. So
we're so kitty, oh so kitty. Kitty Bacon, that's what we'd be called.
Kitty Bacon.
Yeah. As Sex Pistols Hello Kitty cover band.
There
All right, I'll hold you to that.
It's set up.
I need to learn ukulele now.
I've just done the Instagram page under the table. It's happening.
So they can phone up Peach Guitars. let's sort of tell them what, how much money they could spend to find out if they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think the good thing about guitars or any instrument, we talk about guitar, but it could be piano, could be bass, could be drums, saxophone, anything. The instrument retains its value quite well. So like if you do like it and you want to move on to something a bit more expensive, you can always sell the thing you started on and upgrade. Yeah,
there's always someone in the same position that you were in like 2 years ago who wants that starter instrument. So absolutely.
Would you recommend sort of Facebook Marketplace or anything like that? Or do you think someone's going to sell you some weird like warped beast of a guitar?
So I've got one foot in each camp about recommending Facebook Marketplace. So in theory, totally recommend it because you can get some good bargains because you don't have to pay seller's fees. But unfortunately, the majority of the people you have to communicate with on Facebook Marketplace isn't worth it.
It's a different breed of humans, isn't it?
It really is. It is a different world.
Sakita, do you play any instruments? We're wagging on over here about like all these instruments and stuff. Do you play anything? Or have you learnt?
As a kid, the recorder.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It was one of those things had to do at school.
It sounds really exciting, doesn't it? Record. It's like, it records stuff. It's such a great name for an instrument. And you're like,
old school recorder. No, it's one of those.
The recorder is the only instrument that when you are playing it well, it still sounds bad.
Now I feel better. So actually, brilliant. So I learned. I played the recorder. Piano, I can do just about 3 blind mice.
Nice.
Just that beginning little keys.
Yeah, both at the same time, recorder and piano.
And that's about it.
Because I think, when I was coming up through school, they didn't really push you into music that much.
No.
I was more excited because, bands were coming through. I think like Blur was coming up about that time in Colchester. And we were all like, bands are really cool. Leisure was coming out and stuff. And everyone wanted to be in a band. Like now everyone wants to be a YouTuber or or a footballer. But I think everyone wanted to be in a band then. What was my point? Oh my God, it's been a long day.
Well, it couldn't have been that important.
No, it wasn't that important. Oh no, yeah, it's about music at school. So I think now there's a bit more of a focus on music at school, and especially the school my kids go to. The music teacher's brilliant, Mr. Mac. Big up yourself. He's absolutely
Mr. Mac's
amazing.
just such a good name.
I know, exactly.
Like Return of the Mac. Yeah.
Is that the Mac Daddy? Is that it's like Chris?
That's not even his name. He's given himself that name. That's not his name.
No, but you would be called Professor Mac if you're giving yourself a name, right?
I don't know. I prefer like Mr. Mac.
Yeah, Mr. Mac is great, isn't it?
Big Mac. Hey-o.
Oh, he'll never listen to this anyway. But it's brilliant, when you get these teachers are getting kids excited about music and learning stuff, because I was the same. They just taught me 3 blind mice on the recorder and Frere Jacka.
Yes.
And where's that taken me in life?
Absolutely.
They didn't even teach me that. My music had such a lack of my school had such a lack of focus on music. It was insane. I basically played music despite my school.
Yes. So. But what's really interesting, a lot of schools don't focus very much on creativity or arts or music as a tangible career.
Yeah.
And, my school certainly didn't. It sounds like your school didn't. And look at you, you're now a music professional. I'm a creative professional. And, I think it's so important to encourage people to do stuff. And if you've got a passion for it, like, if you're 8 and you pick up a guitar and you just can't put it down. Mate, carry on. Be a guitarist.
Agreed.
Because it's so hard to find your passion in life.
Absolutely.
And if you do, just go for it and encourage it.
I strongly believe whatever that thing that you do at that time and can't stop doing, there'll be some way to make money from that.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't feel like a traditional syllabused career path, there'll be a way of making money out of that thing that you're awesome at.
Exactly. And look at you. So you're like Adam with Card Trick Music, doing lessons as well. And you're teaching drums and guitar.
Yeah. So and all of the sort of composition-y, production-y bits as well.
You're recording people as well. I've seen you twiddling the knobs in the studio
on the OnlyFans,
and on the OnlyFans, and I've seen you on stage with a pyro. So you got like this 4-prong crazy money-making career from music.
That's the thing with music, though. Like to get anywhere in music, I strongly believe versatility. You've just got to do the music.
Have you got a venue in Brentwood as well?
So we've recently stopped with a venue in Brentwood, actually, but we did up until a very recent point have the venue in Brentwood.
Oh, it's too much. There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. I mean, there really is.
We're glad to have you in Chelmsford.
I'm happy to be in Chelmsford. better than Brentwood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Suck it, Brentwood.
Free bird. I think we should wrap up because otherwise this edit's gonna absolutely drive me mad.
That's been my plan the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's not much I have to cut out, actually. It's just fine.
As a man who edits audio, I know the pain that you potentially
I just put
face.
the funky music in. It's fine. it's fine. Now AI is so good. I just run the master through AI now, and it levels everything out. Especially Sangeeta, because Sangeeta likes to be. She starts upright and then she goes like real slump. Like this. She's like almost horizontal. I'm disabled.
Stop the recording now, Jaden.
So, Sangeeta,
Yes.
do you feel quite inspired by music?
Oh, mate, today I am so inspired. I feel really good. My energy when I got here today, and I think a little bit like Nick, we've had quite a few busy weeks these last few weeks, and we're quite tired. But you walking through, and funny enough, I'd already said, looks like a musician, as Nick was showing you around.
Yeah.
But actually speaking to your energy has been so lovely, and your stories have been so informative that I feel fully awake.
I
Because
think
normally I'd be slumping. Yeah.
I think Adam should be like the official ambassador for music
Yes.
to go around schools
Yeah.
to tell kids, look at me, and then the parents would be like, don't be like him. He's got lip rings and tattoos and stuff. And you'd be like, guys, I'm having so much fun. Look, literally, when do you get to be an accountant and have fire coming out of your desk?
The problem is now, literally, times have changed. So the kids are more likely to find the accountancy like cool. 'Cause they're
Yeah.
like, with the tattoos and piercings, it's like everyone's got those. My dad's got those.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm going full calculator core.
Yeah, exactly. I wear a shirt and tie every day.
Thank you very much to Adam, our amazing guest. Thank you to Sangeeta. Thank you to the Ragga Enforcer on the knobs.
Yes, me back, man. Big up yourself, everyone.
Wait, that was like, look,
He should be the ambassador.
mate, here's the ambassador just for vibes, general. And thank you so much to Paul and City Sound again in Chelmsford. Brilliant for letting us use their studio. Essex County Council for funding the equipment. You can follow us on Instagram on r.u.creative.podcast. No one has ever sent us a question or a suggestion. If you even want to suggest yourself or send them in, please do. And we are at the Chelmsford. No, we're not at the Chelmsford. We're at the Essex Podcast Festival next weekend with stuntman Andy Pilgrim, who has been burnt to death by a dragon in Game of Thrones. Adam's woken up to that.
I mean, that is an impressive claim.
Yeah, he has. He has been fully Dracarist.
There are so many words in that.
Amazing.
That's great.
Exactly. So we're going to say goodbye. So goodbye. Bye. Bye, Adam.
Bye.
Bye. Go on,
Bye.
rain dance by us
Bye.
out.
But no more rain dance.
Oh, can you do Are You Creative theme tune?
What is?
Just give us a jam.
Are you creative? Get creative with Get Creative. Are you creative? Creative.
Podcast.
I love that.
Thank you very much. All right. Cheers.
Good night.